to decide. It's not for me to decide. We will discuss and see. But I know that Helen Zille was saying this weekend, oh no, they are committed to the GNU. And my response was, vote for the budget. Others, you go into the government to do what? So we are there now. I guess by this evening you'll get the results of the meeting of the top 7 and the NWC.
Country. The DA also entered government to be part of government and not to be mere spectators. We need to be in the wheelhouse of government where we can determine the economic direction of the country, not just merely swabbing the decks down below. And that has been the reason and the issues that have characterized the last few weeks of talks and negotiations between the DA and...
It doesn't seem to be so. However, the proposal from the various parties is being taken very seriously, and that process will be engaged in for the next 30 days.
As you know, when we were in Parliament, they didn't vote for the budget. And we passed the budget with other parties, the fiscal framework. And we're still going to go back to, we have to pass the Appropriation Act and other laws and so on. So the NWC is only...
We don't seek to dominate government. We fully accept that we do not have a 51% majority. But equally so, no other party has 51% in the government of national unity. And that means that parties have to work together. They have to compromise, and they have to be allowed to have their voice heard loud and clear within that government. It is not tenable or sustainable to be a part of a government that cuts you out of key decision-making areas. Whether that...
The resolution that was taken by the Finance Committee was that there will be a 30-day period during which Treasury will examine whether there are other options other than through a VAT increase where we can fill the gap of about 13.5 billion rand. So that has been left for discussion and examination. And in the end, we will look at all ways and means of seeing whether that is possible or not.
Minister Steenhuisen, if you don't vote for this budget, really the ball is in your court. You are defining yourself outside the GNU if you don't vote for this budget. They nevertheless went and did not vote for it. But I can see some of them are working today. They are still working as ministers. They are going around. I will be ashamed to do that. Because where does the...
For the people of South Africa. But it then has to become a genuine power-sharing relationship. It cannot simply be that one party says to another party that consensus means you agree with everything we put on the table and you don't agree with anything that we don't agree with anything you put.
Clock as leaders of the ANC to decide on the way forward, because a government that does not have a budget is no government. In fact, if you don't have a budget, then it's over. So we must have a budget. Otherwise, what kind of government is this? What are we going to do?
Thought is, my word, the individuals involved can be intoxicating. I mean, I went head to head with the ANC over this budget, and there's a moment about a week and a half ago where the president came out and he was addressing the media, and him and I made eye contact. We hadn't made up to that point. Him and I made eye contact, and he sort of smiled at me. That cheeky President Cyril Ramaphosa smile that wins you over in a moment.
We've already missed the 1st of April, because that's when the budget must kick in. So we pushed it back to the 1st of May, just to give parties a bit of time to see, is there something else we can do? But we are not married to VAT as a lifetime thing. It's really just to cross.
So I think one of the things the DA does well, which encourages me, is when they get into like roles, they start executing fairly early on. I think one of the challenges here is the roles we were given were limited.
Yeah.
And then at a broader level, the levers to change, which would be, perhaps not so much foreign relations, but to an extent that, and economic policy, we just haven't been let into that room.
Because where does the budget come from? You run to work as a minister, you have not voted for a budget, but you think it's okay. You're going to work. So I'm not sure what they are thinking. But as I said, the top 7 is meeting